Hey guys, this week we see two young aggressive players mix it up with 4 tables left at EPT London.
This hand is a great example of how playing in late position can really open up people's ranges.
So 29 remain right now, and we're heading over to the secondary feature table, where the action has been folded to Marc-Andre Ladouceur. Queen Jack of Spades, he raises to 23,000. Jake Cody is on the button and has 8-4 of hearts.
If Jake's playing this, I don't imagine he's just calling. Dad face is way too serious for that. It's like sending your daughter on a date and not brandishing a shotgun.
3-betting with junk. Classic Cody. Sven Wendt in the small blind. Folds, as does Jareth East in the big blind. It's back on Marc-Andre. He calls. He'll have to play the flop out of position and without the betting lead. 5-4 deuce. Jake pairs his 4.
More classic Cody.
Looks like Jake will continue.
C-betting not so much for value, but for protection mostly.
56,000. Marc-Andre has missed this board completely. But that's not going to stop him. That is a check raise. 135,000 total.
Good read by the French dog. Cody is weak, but much like the selfie stick, he is going nowhere.
And the main reason that Jake Cody is going nowhere is because the range of hands that Marc-Andre Ladouceur is representing as value hands is pretty thin.
Yeah, come on, Marc-Andre. What do you got here? You got sets of deuces, 4s, 5s, and what? Aces and kings that you slow played pre? That's it. I got nothing else.
That seems like the only hands he really could be doing for value here. Of course, he is a non-standard player, so he might be trying to level Cody into making a call with a hand like Cody has when Marc-Andre has something like 10s, but that's a little bit, I don't know, that's giving him a lot of credit for examining the situation exactly perfectly. So it seems like it's usually a bluff like the queen high bluff he has, because hands with more showdown value, such as his ace highs, are likely to just check call here because they also have a gut shot, and ace high could be good a lot of the time.
Yeah. That said, based on the hand that Cody has and the type of hands Cody's often going to have here when he calls, it's going to be hard for Cody to call on a lot of turns if Ladouceur continues. He's got 3/4 of a pot size bet left, which he should be able to ship on the turn, and that could work a fair amount of the time.
Right. If Cody doesn't improve the turn, Marc-Andre is going to be able to win this hand a lot. So maybe this bet is not designed necessarily to win right now, but to win later.
It better be, because it ain't winning now.
He calls and improves. 2 pair now for Jake. Marc-Andre took the betting lead on the flop, and he barrels 90,000.
This bet is super small, very easy call.
590,000 in the middle. Neither player has a pot size bet behind.
This turn bet is so super small by Marc-Andre that I don't know if he's actually going to fold out a lot of the things that you would hope to fold out in Cody's range.
Right. I mean, with the actual turn card being what it is, Marc-Andre is just screwed no matter what. Jake Cody is never folding this hand, even though Marc-Andre might have 6-7 some of the time. That's a very clear one of the hands he's representing. But it's not really going to work because Jake Cody has so near the top of his range. If Jake Cody had not improved, say the turn was a 10, something like that, I think he's still not getting a fold for the 90,000 here.
90,000 is just so cheap. It does look very strong, and that's the only way. You know, it seems to be representing this monster hand, but there's just so few hands that can make this play. And honestly, if you got 2 7s in your Marc-Andre, you've just check raised. He doesn't have this, of course, but if he check raises, gets called by Cody, is he really going to continue when an overcard hits? See, I mean, it's not a comfortable spot.
He may, but I think he's more likely to ship with that hand, just to say, you know, come what may, as Tony G might say, and hope for the best with a hand as strong as 7s.
I mean, it seems like you've either got a huge hand to bet only 90K or just nothing at all here.
And maybe that's exactly what he's trying to set up. Another thing that we did talk about on the podcast, to give him some credit, is I think a river shove is a lot harder to call for people with marginal hands than one on the turn, because when you're on the turn, you can still improve. in case you're behind, in case you're wrong.
I mean, that said, he's got 3/4 of a pot. It's enough to get Cody off of a huge amount of hands that he could, in quotes, improve on, but it's just not worth the price. Also, it would cripple Cody to call and be wrong. So I just think a shove makes so much more sense than a 90K bet here.
I agree.
The river is a jack, a pair for Marc-Andre. He checks.
He's in check call mode now.
I'm all in.
Jake shoves on him.
And I think Marc-Andre expects Jake to do this pretty often with nothing.
Is he going to call all in here? He's river top pair, and Jake's hand is very disguised.
It's a very difficult situation because I don't even know what Jake's range is here.
I call.
He calls, and he's out.
Yup, it was one of those.
Yes, this is a very unlucky river card for Marc-Andre, but pretty sure he's going broke no matter what in this hand.
I mean, he's setting it up to ship the river. I mean, he really should have shipped the turn, but he's definitely setting it up to rep a super strong hand and ship the river. He's just doing it, he's going to ship 200 into 600, and it's hard to get folds when you do that.
Right, and the check call is not a bad line to take on the river once he improves so dramatically. Obviously, he's not going to check call if he doesn't improve. He's going to ship to try to get Cody off of his hand. Another option, another route he could have taken would have been a value shove to capture value out of hero calls with ace high, along with, a pocket pair of 6s or 7s. We both think J. Cody's probably good enough to value shove 9s or 10s here. It's really hard to put Marc-Andre on a jack.
Yeah, I think Cody's going to do exactly that. I think he's also often going to ship his own ace kings and ace queens to try and get Marc-Andre off of medium strength hands.
Like if Marc-Andre had something like 6s or 7s.
Exactly, where he check raised and then bet 90K and now is like, oh, this is terrible. And Cody can rep a really big hand, or a bigger hand anyway, pretty comfortably, and ship his ace queen here.
Right, and it was never going to go well for Marc-Andre once the turn was an 8. This is just a way that makes it look a little bit more heartbreaking.
Yeah, I mean, I would have probably played this hand very differently on flop and turn, but like we said, we think he wins a lot on the turn if an 8 doesn't come.
If you guys want to see another hand where a lot of chips go in because of position, check out this, Johnny Lawden versus Iv Bakar.
Don't forget also to check our Twitter feed, our website, and make sure you subscribe.